This is the Scholarlynk news for 24th November 2020. Singapore's Transport Minister announced that the air travel bubble between Singapore and Hong Kong will be deferred for 2 weeks. Singapore's Transport Minister and the Hong Kong Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development agreed to this given the spikes in COVID-19 cases in Hong Kong. Hong Kong health authorities had reported 43 COVID-19 cases, 13 of which were unlinked. Under the terms of the travel bubble, travel will be suspended if the 7-day moving average of the daily number of unlinked cases is more than 5 in either city. Singapore Airlines and Cathay Pacific will allow customers to request for a full refund for their flights with no cancellation fees. In addition, Cathay Pacific will allow customers to reschedule their flights at no cost. Think about it. Many people have been eager to visit their friends and families who stay in Singapore or Hong Kong. Do you think it is worth the risk to travel at this time? Or should people continue to rely on video conferencing solutions? Over in Malaysia, rescue personnel will have to contend not just with floods during the monsoon season, but with COVID 19 as well. As such, all personnel assigned to rescue boat teams will be wearing full personal protective equipment throughout rescue missions. The number of people in a boat will also have to be reduced, except in emergency situations. Temperature screening will be done before taking anyone to a relief center. Similarly, the number of people allowed in relief centers will also have to be reduced. To combat this, more flood relief centers will be available for evacuees. The peak flood season is expected to be in December and January of next year. In China, snowstorms and sleet that have disrupted commutes, cut power, and closed schools in northeast China will be moving southwards to northern and northwestern China. Parts of northeast China have already seen up to 20 centimeters of snowfall, and the National Meteorological Center has issued an orange alert for heavy snow. This is the second highest level in the 4-tier warning system. In Changchun, the capital of Jilin province, 3 metro lines had been halted due to frozen power supply networks and tracks. In addition, there were 126 flight cancellations at Changchun Longjia International Airport and 265 flight cancellations at Harbin Taiping International Airport. 30 train services to and from Heilongjiang province were suspended due to the weather. Power was cut off to about 660,000 households in Changchun. At Harbin, more than 30,000 sanitation workers and over 2,000 snow removal vehicles were mobilized to ensure road safety. South and East China, however, experienced record high temperatures, with Jiangxi, Jiangsu, and Guangdong provinces having temperatures above 30 degrees Celsius. Think about it. Do you experience extremely hot or cold weather in your country? Are there any adverse weather phenomena, such as typhoons? How do you prepare yourself for this? Schools in Indonesia remain closed due to the pandemic, so students are still utilizing remote learning. With only a few online classes to attend and reduced interaction with the teachers, students are facing difficulties with the many homework assignments. This leads to increased stress levels, not just for the students, but for the parents as well, who now take over teaching duties. The Indonesian Child Protection Commission has recorded 4 deaths associated with the online learning experience and huge homework load, though other factors contributed as well. There have been pleas to the school boards to reduce the homework loads and standards of assessment during this unprecedented situation. Some private schools have already reduced the number of class hours after conducting their own survey. Parents are also victims as they feel stress and boredom while accompanying their children during online learning, while some others find it challenging to explain the material or do not understand it at all. Think about it. You have most likely experienced remote learning during this pandemic. What do you think are the advantages of such a system? What do you think can be improved? The United States Federal Aviation Administration has cleared Boeing's 737 MAX for commercial flights almost 2 years after two deadly crashes. Regulators around the world grounded the jets after crashes by Ethiopian Airlines and Indonesia's Lion Air. A total of 346 passengers and crew were killed. US airlines will fly the plane once Boeing updates software and computers, and pilots receive training using flight simulators. A problem with the software was blamed for the earlier two crashes. However, the good news comes at a bad time due to the COVID 19 pandemic. Orders for more than 1,000 MAX jets have already been cancelled. The price of each plane is between US 99 million to US $135 million. Relatives of crash victims feel it is too soon for the MAX jet to be allowed to fly again, stating that Boeing and the Federal Aviation Administration are withholding documents. Think about it. How much longer and what other checks do you think need to be done before the 737 MAX can be allowed to fly again? Will any amount of checks ever be enough after having two crashes? Should there be a rule that after a crash due to the plane's problems, it has to be put out of service? We've come to the end of today's news. Please subscribe to our channel and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good evening and goodbye.